All right. So, hi everyone. My name is Jackie Werner, and I am the Scholarly Communications and Research Librarian here in Philadelphia for PCOM. And today we're going to be talking about RefWorks. So, first off, the internet is being very ornery today. So, if this cuts out, we'll hopefully have the recording for later. And if not, just hang it on there, and it should be back in a few minutes, judging from the rest of the day. All right. Excuse me. And for everyone on the recording, I will ask every so often if there are any questions, and you can just type them in on chat, and I will answer them. All right. So first off, do any of you have a RefWorks account? Okay. All right. So it's a good idea to get one while you're at PCOM, because as long as you create your account while you're here, you could continue using it. So to create an account, you just want to go to the library homepage here, and then click My Accounts, and go down to RefWorks. Now, I'm already signed in, but if you're not signed in, it will just ask you to create an account using your PCOM email, and then you will end up with your own account, and it'll look something like this. So RefWorks is a citation management software that is meant to make keeping track of your references and writing papers with them a lot easier. Have any of you use any other Citation Manager software like EndNote or Zotero? All right, which one have you used? Okay. All right, so you already have the idea of how this works. All right, so RefWorks has basic ways to get references into it. And here you could see these are the last imported references. And it tells you when I imported them, and it has full information on a bunch of the computers I've been using. So first way to add a reference, and the way you probably won't use a lot, is to click on Add, and then Create New Reference. So this way you could just manually enter any information that you need. This you're mostly going to use if you have like a textbook or something that you did not find in a database. So you just look at the ref type, change it to whatever it is, and then type in all the information that you need. So it's good to have some experience with whatever citation style you're using, just so you know what information you need in a citation. For example, title, authors, published date, etc. All right, and then you would just click Save. So here's what a full reference looks like. Let me click Cancel. And here you can see a journal article, and it has authors, the abbreviation for the journal, ISSN, DOI, some notes, which is just the DOI again, etc. So most of the time, you're going to get citations in from directly importing them from databases. What this means is that basically you're not going to have to type in all the citation for anything that's online. All right, new chat message. Let's see. Okay, good. All right, you now have sounds. That is good. Okay, so since you guys didn't have sounds before, this will be recorded. I did not go over too much more before y'all got sounds. It was just on the library homepage. Just go to My Accounts to create your RefWorks account. Also, the internet has been very iffy here all day. So if the recording goes off, just stay tight and we'll probably be back within like a minute, judging from everything else. And if you have any questions, just type them in chat and I will see them. All right, so back to RefWorks here. Okay, so I am going to go to some databases you might be using and show you how to import. All right, here in the PCOM library, I'm going to start with PubMed. And I'm just going to do a real simple search for asthma. All right, and that takes you to PubMed. So amazingly, the first two results I got from typing in a single word are exactly what I need. So I'm just going to check these two articles here. And then up here, there's a send to option. This will also be on the page of each article if you went and clicked on it. So click send to, and then Citation Manager. So for PubMed, it's probably one of the most annoying to actually get citations from, and it's still pretty easy. So you just download the two citations that you get. All right, save the file wherever. I just save it on the desktop. Okay, so once you have that file saved, this is not the actual papers. It's just the citation in the form that RefWorks can read it. So once you have that, you want to click Add, go to Import References. All right. And if you actually had another reference manager, you could just import right from there. But what we want is import from a file. Select the file from your computer. On the desktop, we have citations.nbib. Open. And now it recognizes that this is a PubMed file and that it's going to format it like that. So click Import. Wait, and then we've saved two documents to your library. All right, so now a few seconds ago, we have these two new documents. Click on it, and then you could see it saved the whole abstract, which is not needed for the actual citation, but can be very useful for you. It comes with tags, so you can easily search by them. Basically, all the information that you need for your citation and even more. Now, if you like, you can click over here to edit the document. And then you can add more fields. So if you want to actually upload the paper, and this is, of course, looking a little janky right now. All right, well, somewhere in here, yes. All right. Is that you, Megan? There we go, attachments. All right, so the attachment field is where you can actually upload the PDF itself. I usually end up keeping them, I don't upload them to RefWorks, but that's just, it depends on how you like to organize your papers. If you want the files to be with all of the actual citations, then you can just upload them up here. All right, so let me cancel that. And now let me show you another few things that you could do with these. All right, so right now I have two articles. And say I want to keep all my articles for one project in one folder so that they're easy to see. If you just select them, you can click Assign to Folder. And then you can either create a new folder, and you could have them within a hierarchy here, or you could assign them to an existing folder. So down here, I have one called asthma with one reference in it. Let's apply. All right, now they're within the folder asthma, and if I click my folders, I could go down here, and here's everything for this one project. Now, over here I have a literature reviews folder, and you could see in these folders, I made subfolders saying basically articles that I've read or haven't read, or ones that I'm using in the paper or that I'm not using in the paper. So that's a real nice way to organize what you actually have to go to, or things that you don't want to use but still want to keep the reference. All right. Any questions so far? All right. So let's show you how to get things from some more databases. Oh, and there's a question. No questions. All right. So let me go to another database here, back in the library. I'm going to go to collections and then databases. So pretty much every database that you use is going to have some method of getting the references from their database into RefWorks. Some are just easier than others. Let me see if I could mute this. I don't know why there's two PCOM libraries, so I'm not going to touch that. All right, back to databases. I'm going to go to Scopus next off. All right. Okay, so that's just going to log me in. All right, please let this work. I've been having much more difficulty than I should today. All right, so Scopus, again, I'm just going to do a simple search. Bother me. For asthma and search. All right, so once again, after I get rid of all these directions, first two options I would like to add to RefWorks. So in order to do that, just select them, click export up here. And this one is one of the nice and easy ways, because you can see there's a button to export it right to RefWorks. So just click export to RefWorks, export. Okay, and it's going to ask you if you're using the current or legacy version of RefWorks. You're always going to be the current version. All right, so it just opens up RefWorks and adds them right to your library. So let's close this other tab. And just click over here for all the ones that I uploaded a few seconds ago, and assign to the folder asthma. All right, and that is basically what importing is going to look like from any database. The one issue you might run into is that if you're going from a database, I believe Cochrane does it, and it has you download a file like PubMed. When you import it, where it said this is from PubMed, it'll say we don't know where this file is from, and you just have to scroll down and say that it's RIS format, which is easy to remember because the file that you downloaded is going to be a .ris file. So if you're lucky, none of the databases make you go through that. But if you're not, just remember, always choose RIS format. All right, so that's the basics of getting references into RefWorks. Now let's look at some other things you could do with it. First of all, you can share folders with others at PCOM. This is really useful if you're all working on the same project and all looking at the same paper. So in order to do that, you just click Share a Folder, and then choose whatever folder you want. And there are two options. Only invited people may access, or anybody at PCOM may join this folder. And that means that they'll be able to edit it. So usually you're probably going to want only invited people. Okay. All right, now it's letting me switch back. And then you could just create a public URL so they can see the contents of the folder from anywhere. And if you want people to be able to work on the folder with you, just basically invite their email addresses. And then you can choose whether or not they can read, can add annotations, or they can actually modify and say delete things. And if you share it with somebody who has a RefWorks account at PCOM, then they'll just get an email giving them access to that folder. Excuse me. All right. So now once you have these references in here, you can create a bibliography from them. So what you usually want to do is to use the Word plugin, Citation Manager, to actually include the bibliography when you're typing. But if you just want a bibliography by itself, without actually writing a paper yet, you can just click on Create Bibliography here. So I still have these two selected. I'm just going to click Create Bibliography, and then Create Bibliography. And here we have a bibliography. So the one thing that you have to watch out for when you're importing things from databases is that sometimes things are not going to be completely correctly added in. So if you see there's a problem here, for example, this is giving a Scopus link from the URL for the URL instead of the DOI, which is meant to be the one permanent link for it. So you could just, when you see that, you could just go back there and then edit that, just edit that entry here and put the correct URL in. All right, so let me go back to creating that bibliography here. And you'll notice this is in AMA style because that's what I always use. If you click up here, it starts by showing most recent styles and also the most common styles. So it's going to show AMA, APA 6, Chicago style. However, search for a style. You can find pretty much every citation style that is out there. So let me search for medical. And here you could see that there are a lot of different styles just with medical in the name. And many different journals will have their own style that is already in RefWorks. So if you're going to be submitting an article to a journal, definitely do a search for their name, and you won't have to go in and actually edit the styles. So click on that, and it just does puts it in the correct style here. Then you could copy this to your clipboard and paste it into a doc that you can see. All right, Any questions about this so far? Get a drink. And speaking of errors, there is another option for importing a file into RefWorks, but I recommend you don't use it because it doesn't work very well. If you go to Add, you have the option to upload a document. That's if you have a PDF saved, you can just drag it into here and it will try to get the information right from the PDF. I say try because I've never seen one import without having a lot of errors on it. So what I would recommend if you have a PDF saved is to just search in a database, PubMed, Scopus, whatever database is likely to have that, and just import it from there. Otherwise, you can upload the document, but you will have to go in and then just edit the fields to make sure it's correctly done. Okay. The other option here, you can actually search PubMed from within here. I usually don't recommend it unless you're trying to find an article which you already know the title and just want to import it into here. Otherwise, you basically don't have all those nice filters that you have on PubMed. So I recommend sticking to the actual PubMed site unless you just want to quickly add something you already know. All right. So another great thing about PubMed, RefWorks, is that you can do cite while you write, which it actually isn't called that anymore, but basically sums it up. So if you click on your name over here, there's an option for tools. And I'm going to click on that. So first thing you'll see is there's a Save to RefWorks button that will add things to RefWorks on a website. What I recommend this for is if you are